Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we expecting anybody else from the applicant side?
No,
Okay. Um, and how do I pronounce your last name?
Uhlenhake.
Eulenhake. Got it. All right. Well, let me do a brief introduction and we can go ahead and get started. This is the July 30th, 2025 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. My name is Ashton Tucker. I am the zoning hearing examiner for the city of Cincinnati, and I'll be presiding over this hearing. The case before us today is ZH20250066 involving the property at 170 Dorsey Street. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. The hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules for the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant or the applicant's agents will first present the applicant's case. If the public were here, they'd have an opportunity to speak after the applicant is presented. Then the zoning plans examiner that produced the staff report regarding this application will have an opportunity to speak. If in an event that any party offers any testimony that is in opposition to the application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that opposition. Once that is done, I will give everybody an opportunity to make a closing remark. The applicant will have the final word. Once that is done and after all presentations have been made, I will close out this hearing and decisions can be expected within 3 to 4 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with Zoom or the video, any other technical difficulties I might experience, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion if I cannot troubleshoot them on my own. All right. At this point, all persons providing testimony must be sworn in now. So if you can make sure you're not muted and have or raise your right hand. All right. You both swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Starting with Mr. Eulenhake. What would you like me to know about this application?
Um, if you've reviewed the application and seen the photos, you'll know that my client, I had worked with them in the past to renovate this entire house. And they've done a beautiful job, both on the interior as well as the exterior. They've invested quite a bit of money into the renovations. This is going to be their primary residence for the rest of their lives. They wanted it to be their ideal family home for their family and grandchildren to come visit. And in part of what they've completed all of those renovations under a prior permit. It's all been approved. They're living in the house. And so for this part of the project, there's an existing rear deck. It has existed before they purchased the property. Their rear deck extends all the way back to the rear of their actual property line. We are proposing to add on top of that deck a simple storage structure added to the rear of that of the existing house, plus a gazebo. And these are things that would make their lives much better enhanced living in this house. The existing gazebo and storage structure will be directly sitting on top of the existing deck structure. We plan to put new decking materials on the existing deck structure. We had an engineer come out to do a preliminary geotechnical report to or assessment rather, preliminary geotechnical assessment, and he agreed with me in my summary that the existing piers and wood should be sufficient, and we will work through that with the building department when we get to the point of actually getting going through the building permit parts and getting full structural review done. The part of the project that is we're requesting the relief for is the rear yard setback. We are complying with the side yard setback, which to the north west that already complies, and we plan to follow the deck line for the gazebo. Again, it's just the gazebo that's we are asking for relief for. The rear yard abuts a park to the north, park-owned land to the, I think it's the northeast. The rear yard directly abuts a park, the lower hillside of a park. I forget the name of the park offhand, but it is a section of the park that you cannot see. The general public does not access this section of the hillside. And this lower part of the park, there is an existing retaining wall, or not a retaining wall, it's more like a garden wall at the rear of the property made of stone. It's been there for many, 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 many years. And beyond that stone wall is technically city-owned property. Beyond that wall is city-owned property that the owners of this property for many, many years have maintained that section of the city-owned land. And so what we're requesting is relief from the rear yard setback. We do plan to set it back 3 feet from the rear property line. We'd like to, I tried to propose that the gazebo is acting more like an accessory structure in which it would, if it was considered an accessory structure, it would meet the 3-foot rear yard setback, but it has been directed that it is part of an addition because it's sitting on this deck. This would just be for the personal enjoyment of my clients and their family. And there are no neighbors to the rear yard. It's only this hillside section of the park. The general public part of the park does not even have any way to utilize this section of the hillside. And we are asking for that relief for the rear yard setback. And it's essentially on what the deck already is sitting on already. And has been for, I don't know how long, before they owned it for sure.
Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Munzel, what would you like me to know from the planning department's perspective?
Good morning, again. How are you?
Good morning.
So actually, this is a similar as the project we just reviewed at 9 o'clock with the kind of a existing condition that becomes a default, becomes part of the principal structure because of the deck being connected to the house. So that's principal structure, therefore the roof covering would also be considered part of the principal structure. And then again, it's similar to this morning. It kind of functions as an accessory structure. But bottom line is we felt that the proposal was appropriate, did not negatively impact anybody. They're not doing any cut and fill or anything, excavation as far as the hillside overlay concerns. And because of the hillside averaging requirement, they needed a rear yard setback relief. They're good on the side setbacks. And then as the architect mentioned, they conform to the accessory structure rules anyways, so that kind of all fits together as a compatible design for the area. So that was our conclusion to recommend approval of the request. Thanks.
Thank you. Anything that you would like to say to close it out, Mr. Munsell, beyond that?
No.
All right. Anything to close this out, Mr. Eulenhake?
No.
All right. So, what I can tell you, well, I'll close out this hearing, but what I can tell you is that I will approve the application. I do have to formalize that in a written decision, and I can get that written decision to you hopefully within the next three weeks or so.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right.
You too, Wes. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.